Dramatis Personae of Paolo and Francesca by Stephen Phillips. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Dramatis Personae.
Giovanni Malatesta, Tyrant of Rimini. Read by Beeswaxcandle.
Paolo, brother to Giovanni, and captain of Mercenaries, in the service of Florence. Read by Greg Giordano.
Valentino, officer of Paolo's company. Read by Major Toast.
Corrado, officer of Paolo's company. Read by Harry.
Luigi, officer of Paolo's company. Read by David Purdy.
Marco, a soldier. Read by
ToddHWPulci A Drug-seller. Read by Alan Mapstone.
Francesca da Rimini, bride of Giovanni, and daughter of Guido da Polenta, Tyrant of Ravenna. Read by Jenn Broda.
Lucrezia Degl'Onesti, cousin to Giovanni. Read by WendyKatzHiller.
Constanza, kinswoman to Francesca.
Read by Christine Rutger.
Tessa, daughter to Pulci.
Read by Michele
EatonNita Maid to Francesca. Read by Christine Rutger.
Angela, a blind and aged servant of the Malatesta. Read by
InkellMirra A Peasant Girl. Read by Kat Sadler.
Carlo, read by Larry Wilson.
Servant, read by Kristen Hand.
A Soldier, read by Christian Wardell.
Another Soldier, read by Chuck Williamson.
A Girl, read by Agnes Robert Behr.
Another Girl, read by Red Run.
Sergeant, read by
Maid, read by Daniela Gura.
First Girl, read by Chuck Williamson.
Second Girl, read by Kat Sadler.
Third Girl, read by Red Run.
First Courier, read by Major Toast.
Second Courier, read by
A Messenger, read by Kristen Hand.
An Attendant, read by Chuck Williamson.
Second Attendant, read by Major Toast.
Third Attendant, read by Kristen Hand.
Stage Directions, read by Estefanía Vidal. End of Dramatis Personae. Act 1 of Paolo and Francesca by Stephen Phillips. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Scene: a gloomy hall in the Malatesta castle at Rimini, hung with weapons and instruments of the chase. Guests and citizens assemble, with soldiers, huntsmen, and retainers, hounds held in leash. As the scene opens, a trumpet is blown outside. Enter Giovanni hurriedly down a gallery to the hall with papers in his hands. He pauses on the steps.
Peace to this house of Rimini henceforth. Kinsman, although the Ghibelline has fallen and lies out on the fields of Trentola, still have we foes untrampled, wavering friends. Therefore on victory to set a seal, today I take to wife Ravenna's child, daughter of the great Polenta, our ally. Between us an indissoluble bond. Deep in my affairs my brother I dispatched, my Paolo, who is indeed myself. For scarcely have we breathed a separate thought, to bring her on the road to Rimini.
A noise of falling chains is heard.
I hear them at the gates. The chains have fallen.
The doors at the end of the gallery are thrown open. Enter out of sunlight Paolo, leading Francesca by the hand, followed by ladies and squires. Flowers are thrown over them. Francesca bends low to Giovanni, who raises her up.
Rise up, Francesca, and unveil your face.
He kisses her on the forehead.
Kinsman, and you that follow with my bride, You see me beat with many blows, death pale with gushing of much blood, and deaf with war. You see me, and I languish for a calm. I ask no great thing of the skies, I ask henceforth a quiet breathing, that this child, hither all dewy from her convent fetched, shall lead me gently down the slant of life. Here then I sheath my sword, and fierce must be that quarrel where again I use the steel.
A murmur of approbation. He turns to Francesca.
Tell me, Francesca, can you be content to live the quiet life which I propose? Where, though you miss the violent joys of youth, yet will I cherish you more carefully than might a younger lover of your years.
My lord, my father gave me to you. I am innocent as yet of this great life. My only care to attend the holy bell, to sing, and to embroider curiously. And as through glass I view the windy world. Sweet is the stillness you ensure to me, whose days have been so still, and yet I fear, to be found wanting in so great a house, I lack experience in such governing. So, if at any time I seem to offend you, will you impute it to my youth? But I shall never fail in duty willingly.
I like that coldness in you, my Francesca, and to my cousin I will make you known. Widowed and childless she is ruled to now this fort of soldiers, a rough hostelry, which henceforth is your home. Since I remember she was my friend, has often cooled a rashness which I inherit. Lean at first on her.
Francesca, as your husband says, we two have long been friends, but friendship faints in love. And since through inexperience you may err, my place is near you, to advise and guide suits with my years.
O Lord of Rimini, with sighs we leave her as we leave a child. Be tender with her, even as God hath been. She hath but wandered up at the white clouds, hath just spread out her hands to warm the sun, hath heard but gentle words and cloister sounds.
Giovanni bows to her.
Friends, will you go with us to church? Till then, walk where you please. Yet one word more. Be sure that though I sheath the sword, I am not tamed. What I have snared, in that I set my teeth and lose with agony. When hath the prey writhed from our mastiff fangs?
Giovanni, loose Francesca's hands. The tears are in her eyes.
Well, till church time then. Paolo, stay.
Exeunt Lucrezia, guests and retainers. Nita and attendant ladies remaining in the background. Giovanni, Paolo, and Francesca come down.
These delegates from Pesaro, Francesca, expect my swift decision on the tax. Then will you think me negligent or cold if to my brother I confide you still a moment, and no more?
Exit Giovanni.
Oh, Paolo, who were they that lived within these walls?
Why do you ask?
It is not sign nor sound, only it seemeth difficult to breathe. It is as though I battled with this air.
You are not sad.
What is it to be sad? Nothing hath grieved me yet but ancient woes, sea perils, or some long ago farewell, or the last sunset cry of wounded kings. I have wept but on the pages of a book, and I have longed for sorrow of my own.
Come nothing nearer than such far-off tears, or peril from the pages of a book. And therefore, sister, am I glad that you are wedded unto one so full of shelter. Constant is he, and steel true till the grave. For me, to-night, I must be gone.
Tonight? Ah, Paolo, go not away so soon. You brought me hither. Leave me not at once, not now.
Francesca.
I am still a child. I feel that to my husband I could go, kiss him good night, or sing him to sleep, and there an end.
Sister, I would that I...
Can we not play together a brief while? Stay then a little. Soon I shall be used to my grave place and duty, but not yet. Stay then a little.
Here, my brother comes.
Enter Giovanni.
Stand either side of me, you whom I love. I'd have you two as dear now to each other as both of you to me. We are, Francesca, something more than brothers, fiercest friends. Concordia was our mother named, and ours is but one heart, one honour, and one death. Any that came between us I would kill.
Sir, I will love him. Is he not my brother?
Nita advances with attendant ladies.
My lady, it draws late.
Go with her, child.
Exeunt Francesca, Nita, and ladies. Giovanni to Paolo.
You have set a new seal on an ancient love, bringing this bride.
And having brought her, here my office ends. I'll say farewell tonight.
This very night?
I'll go with you to church, but from the after feast I ask excuse.
I do not understand.
Brother, believe I do not hasten thus without deep cause.
Is there such haste indeed?
Such haste indeed.
Giovanni taking his hand.
Come, Paolo, we two have never held a mystery between us. Tell me out. Harsh am I, but to you was ever gentle. What is the special reason of your going?
The troop for Florence which I mustered here should spur at daybreak.
There is no such haste. What are you holding from me?
Ah, enough.
What sudden face hath made this hall so dark? Come then, 'tis natural, walk to and fro, and tell me. Ah, some lady you beheld there at Ravenna in Francesca's train. Was it not so?
Urge me no more to words.
What woman draws you thus away from me?
No woman, brother, draws me from this house.
You like not then my marriage? But indeed, no marriage can dissolve the bond between us. Here you are free as ever in the house. Once more, what is the reason of your going?
Brother, 'tis nothing that hath chanced, but rather that which may chance, if here I am detained.
Darker and yet more dark. Now speak it out.
I cannot.
Paolo, this is an ill beginning of my marriage, and I loath that you should put me off. We three, I thought, we three together. Tempt me not to rage, and as your elder I command your stay, your presence both at church and at the feast. You would affront Francesca publicly?
Giovanni, 'tis enough I stay. Forgive me.
Brother, this is our first and last dispute. Now leave me to these papers.
Paolo is going.
Paolo, you go with me heart-whole into this marriage? Give me your hand again.
There is my hand.
Exit Paolo. Giovanni unfolds papers and reads.
In Pizarro's sedition, Andrea Sati is urgent.
Enter Lucrezia. She touches him on the arm.
Pardon me. You sit alone. While there is time, I have stolen in on you to speak my dearest wishes for this marriage, and in a manner too, old friend, farewell.
Farewell?
And in a manner, 'tis farewell.
This marriage is political.
No more?
And yet, since I have seen Francesca, I have fallen into a trance. It seems indeed that I am bringing into this dark air a pureness that shall purge these ancient halls.
Watch, then, this pureness. Fend it fearfully.
I took her dreaming from her convent trees.
And for that reason tremble at her more. Old friend, remember that we too are passed into the grey of life. But oh, beware this child scarce yet awake upon the world. Dread her first ecstasy, If one should come that should appear to her half-opened eyes wonderful as a prince from fairyland, or venturing through forests toward her face? No, do not stride about the room. Your limp is evident the more. Come, sit by me, as you were wont to sit. Youth goes toward youth.
What peril can be here, in Rimini?
I have but said, and say, youth goes toward youth, and she shall never prize, as I do still, your savage courage and deliberate force, even your mounded back and sullen gait.
Lucrezia, this is that old bitterness.
Bitterness? Am I bitter? Strange, oh strange, how else? My husband dead and childless left? My thwarted woman thoughts have inward turned, and that vain milk like acid in me eats. Have I not, in my thought, trained little feet to venture, and taught little lips to move until they shaped the wonder of a word? I am long practiced. Oh, those children mine, mine, doubly mine, and yet I cannot touch them. I cannot see them, hear them. Does great God expect I shall clasp air and kiss the wind forever? And the budding cometh on, the burgeoning, the cruel flowering. At night the quickening splash of rain, at dawn that muffled call of babes, how like to birds. And I, amid these sights and sounds, must starve? I, with so much to give, perish of thrift, omitted by his casual due.
Well, well, you are spared much. Children can wring the heart.
Spared? To be spared what I was born to have? I am a woman, and this very flesh demands its natural pangs, its rightful throes, and I implore with vehemence these pains. I know that children wound us, and surprise even to utter death, till we at last turn from a face to flowers. But this my heart was ready for these pangs, and had foreseen. Oh, but I grudge the mother her last look upon the coffined form. That pang is rich. Envy the shivering cry when gravel falls. And all these maimed wants and thwarted thoughts, eternal yearning answered by the wind, have dried in me belief and love and fear. I am become a danger and a menace, a wandering fire, a disappointed force, a peril. Do you hear, Giovanni? Oh, it is such souls as mine that go to swell the childless cavern cry of the barren sea, or make that human ending to night wind. Why have I bared myself to you? I know not, unless, indeed, this marriage, yes, this marriage, near now, is it not? So near, made me cry out. Ah, she will bring a sound of pattering feet. But now, this message and those papers. I must haste to see the banquet table spread. Your bride is yet so young.
Exit Lucrezia. Giovanni reads.
Antonio and Conti urge it is impolitic to lay another load. Youth goes towards youth. On murmuring Pizarro, in Rimini, foresee revolt. Here in the house, all safe.
Enter servant, leading in blind Angela.
My lord, blind Angela entreats that she once more may touch you ere you go to church.
Give me your hand, old nurse.
He kneels.
Will you not bless me? You will not? And your tears fall down on me?
My son, for are you not my very son? I gave you milk, from me you sucked in life, and still my breast is thrilling from your lips.
Well, well, then.
So that now my very flesh must quail at the approach of woe to you.
The drops stand on your forehead. What is this?
I never trembled for you till this hour.
What is it that you fear?
He kisses her hand.
Now your lips touch, and I begin to feel more surely, child. Ah, but a juice too pure hath now been poured in a dark ancient wine, and the cup seethes.
Speak clearer to me.
Closer lay your head. Nay, in the battle have I feared for you. What is the strange, soft thing which you have brought into our life?
Francesca, do you mean? Why do you clutch my arm? What is't you see?
A kind of twilight struggles through my dark. Be near me. Soon it seems that I shall know.
Upon what scene are those blind eyes so fixed?
A place of leaves, and ah, how still it is! She sits alone amid great roses.
She?
Who is he that steals in upon your bride?
Angela!
And no sound in all the world.
What doth he there?
He reads out of a book. There comes a murmuring as of far-off things. Nearer he drew and kissed her on the lips.
His face, mother, his face!
'Tis dark again.
His face? That I may know him when we meet.
His face was dim, a twilight struggles back. I see two lying dead upon a bier, slain suddenly and in each other's arms.
Are they those two that in the roses kissed?
Those two?
Then quickly tell me of him.
Ah, again 'tis dark. The twilight, as it seemed, with difficulty came, and might not stay. My son, art thou still here?
Why do your lips move fast, and yet no words find out their way? What are they vainly shaping?
Who hath now ta'en hold of me?
Speak, speak then.
He shall be not far to seek, yet perilous to find. Unwillingly he comes a-wooing. She unwillingly is wooed, yet shall they woo. His kiss was on her lips ere she was born.
Who used thy mouth then, and so strangely spoke? Oh, this is folly, yet it weighs me down.
Trumpets are heard.
What is that sound?
My marriage trumpets.
Here, still let me sit, and hear the folk pass by.
Enter from one side kinsmen and retainers, Paolo their head. Giovanni joins him, putting his arm around his neck.
Paolo, shall we walk together still?
Exit marriage procession of kinsmen and company, led by Giovanni and Paolo. Meanwhile, enter from the other side Francesca, Lucrezia, and attendant ladies. Francesca, in passing, pauses and offers trinket to Angela, who shudders, letting it fall. Exeunt all but Angela, who remains staring before her. Curtain. End of Act 1. Act 2 of Paolo and Francesca by Stephen Phillips. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Scene: a hall in the palace. A week elapses between Acts 1 and 2. Giovanni seated with papers. Paolo in armor pacing up and down.
You chafe to go?
I languish for the road, the open road, and chime of mailed feet.
And still I marvel at such anxious haste.
My troop is mustered now. 6 miles from hence I take command for Florence.
Well, I'll urge your stay no more, yet I suspect no less.
What?
That no soldier business lures you hence.
Brother, again?
I'll laugh at you no more.
He rises and speaks slowly.
I have a deeper cause to wish your stay than when I urged it last.
A deeper cause?
I have been warned of peril to Francesca.
Peril?
blind Angela in vision saw one stealing in upon my wife to woo her. Ah, you too start. I am not then the fool I call myself to be so burdened down. You too it touches.
'Twas a moment's fear.
Giovanni, taking his hand.
Such sympathy as ours, so close are we, that what I suffer you straightway must feel.
What manner, then, of man was he that wooed?
Ah, there, his face was dim. Oh, Paolo, if but a moment I could see it clear, look in his eyes as into yours, and know. Well, this is folly, can be reasoned off, and yet it troubles me. Since I must surely be absent on affairs, I could more easily Francesca leave behind if you were by her side.
If I...
And whom then my own brother could I better leave?
Ah, brother, such a charge I cannot well support. If this thing happened by some chance, I in the house, you absent, 'tis a duty I would not willingly take up.
See how you cool to me.
Set me to any service, dispatch me into peril, ask my life. I'll give away my being and breath for you. Giovanni, you doubt not, you cannot doubt my love.
I must not, else I should go mad, so dear are you to me.
And he, this wooer, if he should wrong Francesca any way, my dagger to his heart were swift as yours.
I know that well.
Enter Francesca.
Francesca, whence come you?
From fostering garden flowers.
Paolo is set on going. I have urged, implored. He has no answer, only he will go.
Enter a servant hurriedly.
A courier, sir, spurred out of Pesaro.
So I expected. I will come to him.
Exit Giovanni hurriedly and servant. Francesca to Paolo.
Will you not stay? My husband wishes it. My husband and your brother, so he speaks twice with each word.
My brother and myself have spoken of this, and yet you see, I go.
If for his sake you will not stay, perhaps even for mine you will a little linger. All here are kind to me, all grave and kind, but oh, I have a fluttering up toward joy, lightness and laughter, and a need of singing. You are more near my age, you understand. Where are you vulnerable, Paolo? You are so cased in steel. Is it here, or here? Lay that sad armor by, that steel cuirass. See, then, I will unloose it with my hands. I cannot loose it. There's some trick escapes me.
Francesca, think not I can lightly leave you, and go out from your face into the dark. Ah, can you think it is not sweet to breathe that delicate air and flowery sigh of you, the stealing May and mystery of your spirit? Am I not flesh and blood? Am I not young? Is it easy, then, for youth to run from youth? And yet from you I run. Or are we swift to fly delight? And yet from you I fly. What shall I say?
Sweet are your words, but dark. Is beauty to be dreaded then, and shunned?
How shall I tell you and sow in you thoughts which are not there as yet?
He moves to go.
And you will go? Will you not say farewell? Will you not kiss my hand at least? Why do you tremble then? Is even the touch of me so full of peril?
Oh, of immortal peril.
But how strange you dread this little hand. Oh, wonderful. Your face is white, and yet you have killed men.
Francesca.
Do you fear to look in my eyes? You so insteeled and clanging in your stride? And you could crush my life out with your hand. Oh, this new peril that I have about me.
Child.
And this woe that comes from me to men. And I can stay your going, can I not? Look up, and with a smile I'll bind you fast.
Sister, I suffer. Now, at last, farewell.
Exit Paolo, tearing himself away. Francesca, running to a mirror.
Where is the glass? Oh, face, unknown and strange. Slight face, and yet the cause of woe to men.
Enter Nita.
Nita, did any pass you on the stair?
Lord Paolo came by me, all in steel.
Nita, he trembled to look up at me, and when I nearer came, all pale he grew, and when I smiled, he suffered as it seemed, and then I smiled again, for it was strange. Is it wicked such sweet cruelty to use? Oh, and that bluer blue, that greener green.
My lady, there's no help, and for my sake, tall men have fought and lost bright blood for me.
She looks in the glass.
We cannot choose, our faces madden men.
And yet, Nita, and yet, can any tell how sorrow first doth come? Is there a step, a light step, or a dreamy drip of oars? Is there a stirring of leaves, or ruffle of wings? For it seems to me that softly, without hand, surely she touches me.
Oh, such as you are from their birth uplifted above sorrow.
But am I? Am I? Has he left the house? How far, then, hath he gone by now? How far? Surely 'tis natural to desire him back. Most natural. Is it not most natural? Say. And yet, my heart is wild.
He is, my lady, your husband's brother.
Oh, I had not thought. I had not thought. I have sinned, and I am stained.
She weeps.
Lady, you have done nothing.
Enter Giovanni with attendants, Lucrezia with ladies, to whom she gives directions apart. Giovanni comes down to Francesca.
Could you not prevail on him to stay? He will return. How beautiful you seem, Francesca, now, as though new risen with the bloom of dreams. More difficult it grows to leave your side. I, like a miser, run my fingers through your hair. Yet tears are lately in your eyes. What little grief perplexes you, my child?
I cannot tell, but suffer me to seek the lady mother of the convent.
Yet you shall not stir alone. I have a fear.
To attendants.
Follow your mistress and escort her back.
Exit Francesca, Nita, and Scort. Lucrezia dismisses ladies and comes down to Giovanni. Giovanni, looking after Francesca.
The peril. The peril.
What is this?
Sit then and listen. You first sowed in me the apprehension of Francesca's youth.
Oh, I but said...
Listen. That very hour blind Angela that held me at her breast, whose very flesh anticipates my fate, I found all shivering like a creature dumb. She clutched my arm, and then, as from the touch, there came a kind of twilight in her dark, and in that twilight with blind eyes she saw one stealing in upon my wife to woo her.
Ah!
In a place of leaves they sat and read. Nearer he drew, and kissed her on the lips. Again into her dark the twilight came, and the two lay together on a bier, slain ere they knew, and in each other's arms. These images have so enthralled my brain, I have lived since then in fever.
But this shadow that wooed Francesca, and then died with her, was nothing more discerned?
The face was dim.
but could she give no hint of form or voice?
I cried, "How shall I know him?" Then her lips, after a frantic striving, shaped these words: "Unwillingly he comes a-wooing. She unwillingly is wooed, yet shall they woo."
Unwillingly. This, as it seems, would point...
Giovanni, starting to his feet.
Ah, does the scent come to you? Set me on.
To one who had dear reason not to woo. To one who owed you much, some ancient friend.
Fainter again. I know of no such man. Hark back.
Said she no more then?
He shall be not far to seek, yet perilous to find.
Lucrezia starts.
What? Does the scent come stronger now? You start, and your eyes glitter.
Lucrezia going slowly to him and laying her hand on his shoulder.
Let us hunt this trail, and yet you will mislike whither it leads.
Nothing can hold me now.
Not far to seek points back to Rimini, this little town, to one perhaps mad for Francesca's face that lurks about us.
Wary now, yet swift.
Here at our gates, or nearer still.
Say.
Perhaps within this very house.
O barren, restless woman, at what sight do you give cry at last?
Lucrezia, looking into his eyes.
Are you still eager?
I shut my eyes, and I run into it.
Lucrezia, starting back.
That crouch as of a beast about to spring. I dare not, will not speak till you are calm.
I am calm.
Bending his sword across his knee.
This steel is true that I can bend it into a hope.
Oh, then, if it should be one that had risen, eaten and drunk with you, whose hand was daily in your own.
Is it?
Giovanni, who shall set ashore to love? When hath it ever swerved from death, or when hath it not burned away all barriers, even dearest ties of mother and of son, even of brothers?
Giovanni, seizing her arm.
Is it Paolo?
You stop the blood in my arm. Release your hold.
Giovanni slowly releasing her arm.
Ah, gradual nature, let this thought come slow. Accustom me by merciful degrees to this idea, which henceforth is my home. I am strong, yet cannot in one moment think it.
You speak as in a trance.
Bring me not back, like one that walks in sleep. If suddenly I wake, I die. Paolo!
Giovanni!
Paolo! Ah, no, not there. Not there where only I was prone to love. Beautiful wast thou in the battle, boy. We came from the same womb, and we have slept together in the moonbeams. I have grown so close to him, my very flesh doth tear. Why, Lucrezia, I have lifted him over rough places. He was but a child that put his hand in mine. I reel, my little Paolo.
He swoons off.
Help! Help! Oh, no, I must not call. The foam is on his lips, the veins outstand, and yet I have a joy, a bitter joy. I'll lay his head down here.
She raises his face and looks into it.
Thou wast so rich. Now thou art poor as I. His eyes unclose. Master thyself.
Giovanni, slowly opening his eyes.
At last, as to a soul new come, the murk of hell grows more accustomed. Gradually light, so I begin to see amid this gloom. Let me explore the place and walk in it.
He rises slowly to his feet.
We must live on, Lucrezia. We must still pace slowly on, and set our teeth until relief is sent.
Can you stand now, Giovanni?
You are my friend, my solitary friend.
Am I not lone as you are, without ties, childless and husbandless, yet bitter true?
Be with me still, if Paolo it is. Henceforward let no woman bear 2 sons. Yet, wherefore should he go?
He feared, perhaps.
He too then feared, and went.
Now he is gone. There's breathing time at least.
Can I not bind her beauty fast, o'er which I 'gin to yearn? Are there not drugs to charm the hearts of women?
Put her to sleep, and so ensure her faith. Yet then she'll dream.
If Paolo it is.
Lean upon me, Giovanni. You are weak.
Exeunt both slowly. Scene 2. A wayside inn out of Rimini. View of Rimini in distance, towers flushed with sunset. Enter Marco and other soldiers, Mirra and other girls, a sergeant.
What? Are we all to say goodbye here, then?
We can come no further out of Rimini.
We must all have a kiss before we go.
Ah, you are ready to kiss us, and you are ready to go.
That is the soldier's life.
To love and to go away. Yes, we know you.
To love and go, and love again. To fight and love again, and go. A good life, too.
Listen to him. He tells us he will love someone else. Well, we have all had a merry time.
So we have. But the world is large. Little Mirra here is not the first, or the last.
They laugh.
One last cup of wine all around.
Come, Mirra, we'll drink together out of this cup. Here's your health, sweetheart, and many other lovers to you.
Ah, he knows life is short. Isn't he a pretty fellow?
Marco sings.
Oh, I love not I the long road and the march, with the chink, chink, chinking and the parch. But I love the little town that springs in sight at the falling of the day with many a light. It is sweet, ha ha, ha ha, to clatter down the pebbly street when the taverns all are humming, and the lads in front are drumming, and the windows fill with girls, all laughing and all shaking down their curls. Ha ha! Ha ha! Then your arm is all unlaced, and your arm is round a waist, and she seems so much afraid, you could swear she was a maid.
Sergeant interrupting.
Come, lads, give the girls the slip. Your duty. We must start again.
Mirra clinging to Marco.
You will come back again, won't you, Marco?
May and may not, Mirra. Who can tell?
Because...
Look at her. She's crying. Why, he was only playing with you.
I know.
And they say his play has ended in some earnest.
Well, what then? Fools must go their own way.
Goodbye, girls. We had a merry time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
All exeunt. Enter Corrado, Valentino, Luigi, and Paolo.
Here's an inn, the first since Rimini. Bring us some wine.
How straight the road is from here to Rimini. One can see the town at the end.
Yes, and your brother's castle.
Enter landlord with wine.
Come, Lord Paolo, some wine. Why so dull?
It is that old wound pains me.
Corrado drinking.
Come, lad, out with it. Is it a debt or a wench? Let me talk with him.
Goes over to Paolo.
I can advise you, Paolo. I have loved more, owed more, drunk more, and lived more. Confess to me.
Who would not to so easy a priest?
Valentino to Corrado.
Still staring down the road.
I have it, then.
Corrado says that when a man sits down outside an inn and refuses wine and stares back along the road he came, he is in love.
Didn't you observe one of those girls as we passed them, crying? Shame, Paolo, and in your own town, too.
He doesn't hear us.
Well, here's a health to her, whoever she is. Now, Paolo, let me speak to you. I have myself so often felt this. Give me a word.
Pang.
Pang! Yes, pang!
So often?
More times than I can count. Why, man, I've thriven on pangs. There was a landlord's wife at Ancona. There was a little black-eyed girl out of Florence. To look at me, you would scarcely suppose that I have left half the cities of Italy sighing behind me. I have suffered, and I have inflicted. There was...
Oh, Corrado, not these old stories.
Well, the fruit of all this. You must know that love is a thing physical. It can be sweated out of a man by hard riding. It evaporates from the body like any humor.
Ha ha!
My advice is this. Fill up, drink, and get to fighting quickly. And if, after a bottle or so, you have taken a girl on your knee in the twilight, why, Paolo, I consider you have left behind you, perhaps, another soldier for your brother's wars. You have done a brotherly act, and...
Paolo rising.
Corrado, we have been fast comrades, and I think you know me. But another word of this, and there will be an end of talk between us. You understand?
Oh, ho!
I tell you, you see? It is one of those serious matters where the spirit is more concerned than the flesh. Come, Paolo, let us have it.
Before he begins, I think it would be more fitting if we uncovered our heads, for the recitation is likely to be solemn.
Come, we must be going.
God send us another inn soon.
Exeunt Corrado and Valentino.
Give me your hand, Paolo. You know me. Tell me the trouble.
I cannot, Luigi.
Have you fallen out with your brother? You and he were such friends.
No.
Is it the young wife that he has married? And now he seems more cold to you? But this is natural at first. How can I help you?
No one can help me, Luigi.
Up and lead us on, then.
I will catch you in a moment.
I am very sorry, Paolo.
Exit Luigi.
I have fled from her, have refused the rose. Although my brain was reeling at the scent, I have come hither as through pains of death. I have died, and I am gazing back at life. Yet now it were so easy to return, and run down the white road to Rimini. And might I not return?
He starts up and looks at the towers red with sunset.
Those battlements are burning. They catch fire, those parapets, and through the blaze doth her white face look out, like one forgot, yet possible to save. Might I not then return? Ah, no, 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 for I should tremble to be touched by her, and dread the music of her mere good night. Howe'er I sentineled my bosom yet, that moment would arrive when instantly our souls would flash together in one flame, and I should pour this torrent in her ear, and suddenly catch her to my heart.
A drum is heard.
A drum? Oh, there is still a world of men for a man. I'll lose her face in flashing brands, her voice in charging cries. I'll rush into the war.
Soldiers pass across the stage. Seeing Paolo, they cheer and call him by name, then exeunt. He makes to follow, then stops.
I cannot go. Thrilling from Rimini, a tender voice makes all the trumpets mute. I cannot go from her, may not return. O God, what is thy will upon me? Ah, one path there is, a straight path to the dark. There, in the ground, I can betray no more, and there forever am I pure and cold. The means? No dagger blow, nor violence shown upon my body to distress her eyes. Under some potion gently will I die, and they that find me dead shall lay me down, beautiful as a sleeper at her feet.
Curtain. End of Act 2. Act 3 of Paolo and Francesca by Stephen Phillips. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Scene 1. The Shop of Pulci. Late evening. The walls and ceiling are hung with skins, shark teeth, crucibles, wax figures, crystals, charms, etc. A counter at which Tessa stands. As the scene opens, figures are seen leaving the shop. 3 peasant girls and a lady's maid remain.
I must ask you to choose quickly. It is past the hour for closing the shop.
And will this syrup keep Antonio faithful?
2 drops of this in anything he drinks, given every 7 days, and he will have no eyes but for you.
But will it keep his thoughts true while I am away?
Wherever he may be, his thoughts will be for you.
Ah, but you don't know Antonio. He is so easily let off. Any face if it is fresh, any fool with bright eyes.
These drops will keep even Antonio faithful.
I'll take it then. It must be a wonderful syrup.
Exit first girl. Tessa to maid.
And you?
I wondered how long I was to be made to wait for these common chattering wenches. I want another packet of that face bloom for my mistress, and a darker shade. The other makes her appear hectic.
This, then, has a darker tinge.
And you're to tell your father that the dye he sent withers her hair. He must add more oil.
I will tell him. Good night.
Good night to you.
Exit maid. Second girl holding out charm.
What is this charm?
It will ensure you against ague, fever, or infection, and not only this, but against peril of any kind. It is worn round the neck, and at the approach of danger it will tremble and give you a sign.
Oh, I must have that. Will this money be enough today if I bring the rest next week?
If the charm is not paid for soon, it will lose its power. Take it and remember.
Exit second girl.
Now you, quickly, please. What do you want?
I want a cure for love. Are they very expensive?
We have some that will cure of love in a few hours, but these will cost you a great deal.
It is terrible not to be able to sleep at nights.
Here is one that will bring you back sleep and cure you entirely in a few weeks. One that you could afford.
I don't think I want to be cured entirely. And yet one never knows what one may come to when it grows late and there is music and dancing. It is hard to resist under the moon.
Come now, will you take it?
Third girl taking phial.
I think I'll have it, and take it very slowly.
There, then.
There's money saved for 6 weeks. Ah, well.
Exit third girl. Tessa, after barring up door, goes to glass.
Now I can play for a while.
She puts some bloom on her face.
Oh, but this bloom is beautiful. And how it makes one's eyes sparkle. Now this red salve for the lips, that is just what I lacked. My lips are too pale. But now, where is that pencil? Here, shall I lengthen my eyebrows, curving them so? No, I will only deepen them. There, then.
She walks up and down before a glass, then sits dejectedly.
Yet what is the use of all this? I am never seen, may not stir into the streets, and I want to be seen and hear music and...
Pulci, entering down the stairs with a lighted brazier.
Tessa?
Yes, father?
Have I not forbidden you to touch these powders?
Ah, but look at me, father. Am I always to stay shut up here, where no one comes but maids of fine ladies and girls from the shops?
My child, we must be patient a little longer. Listen, soon we shall be rich, and then we will fly Rimini, and far from here we will have a palace.
A knock.
Tessa, go to your room instantly.
Tessa lingering.
May I not stay and see who it is?
It is only some lady's maid.
No, father. I think it is a gentleman.
Quickly, quickly.
Exit Tessa. Pulci puts out light and lights a lamp. He slowly unbars the door. Enter Giovanni, masked and cloaked. Pulci closes door after him.
Has no one seen you enter, sir?
No one.
Softly. What do you seek?
Some dreamy potion that can enthrall a woman's wandering heart, and all her thought subdue to me.
Pulci, producing phial.
This, poured into her night drink, will woo her to your arms. One amorous night at least it will procure.
One night? What use of that? Each day, each night, must she be mine?
But one more drug I have.
Searches for another phial. Giovanni, aside.
They must beguile, it seems, my wedded wife, and lure into my arms what is mine own.
Pulci, offering another phial.
This, then, will purchase some infatuate days.
Some days?
No tincture longer holds the blood.
Here is a purse.
Throws purse of coins.
Ah, get you quickly gone.
As they approach the door, a knock is heard.
See, I will slowly now unbar the door, and whoso enters, past him slip away into the night.
Giovanni stops Pulci.
I must not meet a stranger.
Takes off mask.
Hither, look on my face.
Pulci, falling on his knees.
Mercy, great Lord, take not my life. This commerce after hours is for my child.
Hide me, and instantly.
Pulci, hiding him behind the arras.
Here, then.
Another knock.
And, sir, secrets of Rimini and unsuspecting movings of your subjects you can o'erhear. I'll draw him on to speak. Only stir not.
Unbar's door, enter Paolo.
Warily, sir.
Old man.
Paolo's voice.
What is that sound? This business is for no other ear but yours.
If any stirred, it was my child preparing her for bed.
If any hear me, it were ill for him. Old man, there is within this purse a calm decline for thee to death and quiet hours. Take it, and give me in exchange some drug that can fetch down on us the eternal sleep, anticipating the slow mind of God.
Is this thing for thyself, or for another?
'Tis for myself.
I will not sell to murder, but unto any weary of their life I sell a painless issue out of it. Yet you are young.
Think you the old would die? At any cost they would prolong the light. 'Tis we, in whose pure blood the fever takes, newly inoculate with violent life. 'Tis we who are so mad to die.
'Tis true, I would not lose a moment of the sun. What hath so early ruined you?
Old sir, I am on my deathbed, and to you confess, love, whereto love is extreme treachery, love for another's wife.
Nothing so strange?
Yes, for she is my brother's wife, my sister.
Giovanni, aside.
Thou hast said it.
Oh, I cannot near her bide, but infinite her lightest whisper grows. There's peril in the rustling of her dress.
And are you too beloved?
She hath said no word, but should I stay, she would catch fire from me.
Why, all's before you, yet you yield up breath?
I cannot go from her. I must not stay. To die is left.
For such a drug, the price.
Usher me to oblivion.
Shows purse with gold. Pulci, reaching down file.
This drunk off within an hour will terminate thy woe.
Paolo, taking file which Pulci hands him.
Unbar the door. How the night rushes in.
Exit Paolo. Pulci to Giovanni.
I'll follow him. If suddenly he drink, he must not fall and lie too near my door.
Exit Pulci. Giovanni, coming from behind Arras.
All doubt at last is o'er. He hath said it out. Almost I had my dagger in his heart. Yet sooner than betray he is gone to death. I cannot have thee die, my Paolo. Perhaps even now he drinks, even now the phial touches his lips. Our brother, dash it down. How much then hast thou drunk? Not yet enough. Not yet enough, I know, for death. Which way went he? I'll follow him.
Rushes to door, then pauses.
Yet, oh my God, it must be so. How else? He is so bound to her he cannot fly. He must not stay. He is gone out upon the only road, and this is my relief. Oh, dread relief! Thus only am I pure of brother's blood. I must be still while he goes out to die, and yet be still, while he who is most dear drinks poison. Yet I must be very still.
Re-enter Pulci.
I watched till he was mingled with the night.
Tell me, is he that's gone so sure to die?
Within an hour, so potent is the drug.
Fawning on Giovanni.
You on more pleasant business came to me. We who are older at such madness laugh.
I stifle here.
Tyrant of Rimini, you will not kill me.
Till tomorrow night I stay my hand. Which way went he, that fool?
Straight on. He never turned until I lost him.
Exit Giovanni.
Tessa!
Tessa running in.
Yes, father.
Now you have your wish. Tomorrow we must run from Rimini.
Tomorrow night, the world then. The bright world.
Pulci pours the gold out on the counter. Scene 2. A lane outside the wall of the castle garden. Postern door in the wall. Enter Paolo.
There is no other means. But the pain. Here is the garden where her lattice shines. Perchance she looks toward me now, and makes a music upon midnight with my name. perchance she leans into the air and sighs. Oh, now is she attired in purest white, hanging above our heads, twixt earth and heaven. Life, life, I cannot leave thee, for she lives. At least I must behold her before death, and go straight from her face into the grave, straight from her touch, at least into the ground. Much is permitted to a man condemned. I'll see her, hear her, touch her ere I die.
Exit Paolo through postern door into the gardens. Enter 2 couriers hastily with torches.
Which way now?
Stay, I am out of breath.
At such a moment that Lord Malatesta cannot be found.
I must get my breath against this door. Have you the papers?
Here. Lately married, yet out of his bed at this hour.
Ah, I wish I were back with...
Hush, here's Carlo.
Enter Carlo.
Well, no sign of him?
None. And I am anguish, and these night dews.
Stay.
What?
Listen, I tell you.
A step?
It is he, Lord Malatesta.
Enter Giovanni slowly.
Great lord, we have pursued you up and down. Here's news that will not stay.
Gives him letter.
Hold the torch nearer.
Reads.
Tyrant of Rimini, all Pizarro is risen against the tax laid on them. Our men are beaten behind the city walls. The city herself declares for Cosimo. We wait but for you. A noise of your coming, a sight of you, and the city will fall to us again. Linger not a moment. Andrea. Carlo, muster every man within call, then to the palace, saddle my horse. Summon all in the house to follow you, rouse them from their beds. They must ride with me instantly.
Exeunt Carlo and couriers. Enter running 2 messengers from other side.
Lord and Tyrant of Rimini, we are come on you none too soon. We are ridden from the camp. Our horses stand. There was no moment to write, but this by word of mouth. Your garrison makes terms with the enemy. Many are already gone over, and we fear for San Arcangelo and the whole province.
Get a cup of wine, both of you, and be prepared to ride with me within the half-hour. I'll fall like thunder on Pizarro and catch San Arcangelo with the wind of it.
Exit 1 messenger, Giovanni to the other.
Stay you, sir, and tell me more exactly as we hurry on. Where is Andrea now, then? There is a vantage ground just outside of Pizarro, and there...
Exeunt Giovanni and messengers. Scene 3. An arbor in the castle gardens. Dawn beginning to break. Enter Francesca with a book. Nita following with lamp.
I cannot sleep, Nita. I will read here. Is it dawn yet?
Nita sets lamp down.
No, lady, yet I see a flushing in the east.
How still it is.
This is the stillest time of night or day.
Know you why, Nita?
No, my lady.
Now day, in a breathless passion, kisses night, and neither speaks.
Shall I stay here?
Ah, no. Perhaps in the dawn silence I shall drowse. If not, I'll read this legend to myself.
Is it a pretty tale?
Pretty? Ah, no, Nita, but beautiful and passing sad.
I love sad tales, though I am gay. I love sometimes to weep. But is it of our time?
It is an ancient tale of 2 long dead.
Oh, 'tis a tale of love.
Of love, indeed. But, Nita, leave me to myself. I think I would have no one stirring near me now.
Exit Nita.
The light begins, but he is far away.
She walks to and fro.
Better than tossing in that vacant room is this cool air and fragrance ere the dawn. Where is the page which I had reached? Ah, here. Now let me melt into an ancient woe.
Begins to read. Enter Paolo softly.
Francesca.
Paolo, I thought you now gone into battle dim, far, far away.
And seems it strange that I should come then?
No, it seems that it could not be otherwise.
I went indeed, but some few miles from hence, turned, and could go no further. All this night about the garden have I roamed and burned, and now at last, sleepless and without rest, I steal to you.
Sleepless and without rest.
It seemed that I must see your face again, then nevermore, that I must hear your voice, and then no more, that I must touch your hand once. No one stirs within the house, no one in all this world but you and I, Francesca. We two have to each other moved all night.
I moved not to you, Paolo.
But night guided you on, and onward beckoned me. What is that book you read? Now fades the last star to the east. A mystic breathing comes, and all the leaves once quivered and were still.
It is the faint stir of the dawn.
So still it is that we might almost hear the sigh of all the sleepers in the world.
And all the rivers running to the sea.
What is it you read?
It is an ancient tale.
Show it to me. Is it some drowsy page that reading low I might persuade your eyes at last to sleep?
It is the history of two who fell in love long years ago, and wrongly fell.
How wrongly?
Because she already was a wife, and he who loved was her own husband's dear familiar friend.
Was it so long ago?
So long ago.
What were their famous and unlucky names?
Men called him Lancelot, her Guinevere. Here is the page where I had ceased to read.
Paolo taking book.
Their history is blotted with new tears.
The tears are mine. I know not why I wept, but these two were so glad in their wrong love. It was their joy. It was their helpless joy.
Shall I read on to you where you have paused?
Here is the place. Read it low and sweet. Put out the lamp.
Paolo puts out the lamp.
The glimmering page is clear.
Reading.
Now on that day it chanced that Launcelot, thinking to find the king, found Guinevere alone. And when he saw her, whom he loved, whom he had met too late, yet loved the more, such was the tumult at his heart that he could not speak, for her husband was his friend, his dear, familiar friend, and they two held no secret from each other until now, but were like brothers born. My voice breaks off. Read you a little on.
Francesca reading.
And Guinevere, turning, beheld him suddenly whom she loved in her thought. And even from that hour when she first saw him, for by day, by night, though lying by her husband's side, did she weary for Lancelot, and knew full well how ill that love, and yet that love how deep. I cannot see, the page is dim. Read you.
Paolo reading.
Now they two were alone, yet could not speak, but heard the beating of each other's hearts. He knew himself a traitor, but to stay, yet could not stir. She pale, and yet more pale grew, till she could no more, but smiled on him. Then when he saw that wished smile, he came near to her, and still near, and trembled. Then her lips all trembling kissed.
Francesca, drooping towards him.
Ah, Lancelot.
He kisses her on the lips. Curtain. End of Act 3. Act 4 of Paolo and Francesca by Stephen Phillips. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. A chamber in the palace. Late evening of the second day after Giovanni's departure. Giovanni discovered, stained as from hard riding. Carlo and retainers attending him. Wine on table.
The Lady Lucrezia. Is she in the house?
She is, sir.
Tell her that I am returned and ask some words with her. Well, why do you stand bursting with some news that you must tell? What sudden thing has happened?
Nothing, sir.
Nothing? You then that huddle all together like cattle against thunder, what hath chanced?
I know of nothing, sir.
Nor I.
Nor I.
Leave me and take my message.
Exeunt Carlo and attendants.
Lies he so quiet that none hath found him? They are driven out from the city and are fugitives. Nay, that I strike and hew as yesterday, and that armed ghost of Paolo by me rode.
He pours out wine and drinks. Enter Lucrezia.
So soon returned, Giovanni?
A few hours fast fighting ended it, Lucrezia. What news at home?
Oh, Paolo is returned.
Paolo returned? What, from the grave?
The grave?
I left him dead, or going to his death.
What do you mean?
Heard from his own mouth that he and she did for each other burn.
He told you?
No, not me, but yet I heard.
And you on the instant killed him?
No, he stole away to die. I thought him dead. 'Twere better. Now like a thief he creeps back to the house, to her for whom I had begun to long so late in life that now I may not cease from longing.
Her that you must drug to kiss? Will you not smell the potion in her sigh? A few more drops? Then what a mad caress!
He that hath crept back like a thief into the house, a thief, a liar, he feigned the will to die. Lucrezia, when old Angela foretold, I feared not him. When he was pointed out, I doubted still. Even after his own words, then had I forgiven him, for he went out as to a grave. But now I am changed. I will be weary of this creeping thing. Oh, I have no emotion now, no blood. No longer I postpone or fight this doom. I see that it must be, and I am grown the accomplice and instrument of fate. A blade, a knife, no more.
He has been here since yestermorn.
Yet I'll be no assassin or rashly kill. I have not seen them kiss. I'll wait to find them in each other's arms and stab them there enfolded and entwined, and so to all men justify my deed. Yet how to find them where to kill is just.
Give out that this is no return, but merely an intermission of the war, that you must ride back to the camp within the hour, and for some days be absent. He and she will seize upon the dark and lucky hour to be together, watch you round the house, and suddenly take them in each other's arms.
His plan commends itself to my cold heart.
Here comes Francesca. Shall I stay then?
Stay.
Enter Francesca.
Sir, you have asked for me. I did not know you were so soon returned.
Soldiers' returns are sudden and oft unexpected.
Sir, how pale you are. You are not wounded.
No. A scratch, perhaps. Give me some wine, Francesca, for suddenly I must be gone again.
I thought this broil was ended.
No, not yet. Some days I may be absent, and can go more lightly since I leave you not alone. To Paolo I commend you, to my brother. Loyal is he to me, loyal and true. He has also a gaiety of mind which I have ever lacked. He is beside more suited to your years, can sing and play, and has the art long hours to entertain. To him I leave you, and must go forthwith.
He makes to go, then turns.
Come here, Francesca. Kiss me. Yet not so. You put your lips up to me like a child.
'Tis not so long ago I was a child.
Seizing his arm.
Oh, sir, is it wise? Is it well to go away?
What do you mean?
I have a terror here.
Can you not bear to part with me some hours?
I dread to be alone. I fear the night and yon great chamber, the resort of spirits. I see men hunted on the air by hounds, thin faces of your house with weary smiles. The dead who frown I fear not, but I fear the dead who smile. The very palace rocks, remembering at midnight, and I see women within these walls immured alive, come starving to my bed and ask for food.
Take someone then to sleep with you. Lucrezia or little Nita else. Lie not alone.
Francesca, still detaining him.
Yet go not, sir.
What is it that you fear?
Sir, go not. Go not.
Child, I cannot stay for fancies, and at once I'll say farewell to both of you. I hear my courser fret.
Exit Giovanni. Francesca, looking after him and turning slowly.
Lucrezia, will you lie with me tonight?
I will, Francesca, if you'll have it so.
Oh, someone I can touch in the thick night. What sound is that?
Lucrezia going to window.
Your husband galloping away into the dark.
She looks from the window, then turns.
Now he is gone. I left young Paolo pacing up and down.
Looking steadfastly at her.
He seemed as faint for company as you. Say, shall I call him in as I go out? He will help waste the tardy time.
No, no.
Is there some little feud twixt you and him? For when you meet, words slowly come to you. You scarce look in each other's eyes.
No feud.
Remember, when Giovanni married you, these two were to each other all in all, and so excuse some natural jealousy of you from him.
I think he means me well.
Then shall I call him in?
Oh, why so eager? Where would all those about me drive me? First my husband earnestly to Paolo commends me, and now you must call him in. Where can I look for pity? Lucrezia, you have no children?
None.
Nor ever had?
Nor ever had.
But yet you are a woman. I have no mother. Let me be your child tonight. I am so utterly alone. Be gentle with me, or if not, at least let me go home. This world is difficult. Oh, think of me as a little child that looks into your face and asks your hand.
Lucrezia softly touches Francesca's hair.
Why do you touch my head? Why do you weep? I would not pain you.
Ah, Francesca, you have touched me where my life is quivering most. I have no child, and yet, if I had borne one, I could have wished her hair had been this color.
I am too suddenly cast in this whirl. Too suddenly. I had but convent thoughts. Oh, woman, woman, take me to you and hold me.
She throws herself into Lucrezia's arm. Lucrezia clasping Francesca to her.
At last, the long ice melts, and oh, relief of rain that rushes from me. Child, my child, I clasp you close, close, Do you fear me still? Have you not heard love is more fierce than hate? Roughly I grasp what I have hunted long. You cannot know, how should you, that you are more, so much more to me than just a child.
I seem to understand a little.
Close. I hold you close. It was not all in vain, the holy babble and pillow kissed all o'er. O my embodied dream with eyes and hair, visible aspiration with soft hands, tangible vision. Oh, art thou alive, Francesca? Dost thou move and breathe? Speak! Speak, say human words out, lest thou vanish quite. Your very flesh is of my sighs composed. Your blood is crimson with my passioning. And now I have conceived and have brought forth, and I exult in front of the great sun, and I laugh out with riches in my lap. And you will deem me mad, but do not, sweet. I am not mad, only I am most happy. I'll dry my tears. But oh, if thou shouldst die?
Aside.
And my God!
Why did you start?
Lucrezia, aside.
To stay him.
To Francesca, taking her hands.
But I should be the shadow of a mother, if here I ceased. Francesca, I well know that twixt bright Paolo and dark Giovanni you stand. You hinted at some peril there. I ask to know no more, but take these words. Be not in company with Paolo tonight.
Aside.
Giovanni must be found. My child, I have some business on the moment, but within the hour I will return.
Aside.
How find him? And sleep with you?
Aside.
I'll search all secret places. Kiss me. Remember then.
Aside.
'Tis not too late. What meshes have I woven for what I love?
Exit Lucrezia. Enter Nita on the other side with a lamp.
Lady, shall I come in?
Set the lamp here, Nita, and take some sewing. I am alone tonight, and you shall sit with me until Lucrezia is returned. What lamp is that?
It is the same I set you in the arbor, that night you could not sleep.
Yes, I remember.
Are you unhappy, mistress?
I am lonely, Nita, most lonely.
That were easily, pardon the saying, mistress, remedied.
And how?
If I myself were married young, perhaps without my leave to some old man, and found a younger gallant in the house, I think I would not shun him.
Well, say on.
No, and I think I would maintain some show of love to my grey husband. It is easy to keep in humour an old man. A kiss, a little look, a word will satisfy, and I would have my pleasure.
I have listened so far to you. You do not understand. Oh, Nita, when we women sin, 'tis not by art. It is not easy. It is not light. It is an agony shot through the bliss. We sway and rock and suffer ere we fall.
She walks up and down.
I scarcely understand, my lady. I am ever gay, and this is a gay world. And if we girls are prudent but a little, 'tis easy to enjoy.
A knock.
Who knocked then? See.
Nita going to door and returning.
It is Lord Paolo who asks for you.
Tell him I cannot see him. Is he gone?
Yes, and so sad. He sighed so. And he went. Shall I now call him back?
No, no. Sit down. Tell me some story, Nita.
Alas, I cannot. Only the village talk I can repeat, and how...
Francesca, starting.
Listen, what step is that without? A sad step, and it goeth to and fro. Look out.
It is Lord Paolo, my lady.
Come from the window.
Aside.
Oh, where tarries she, this new-found mother? Tell me then this tale.
Lucia, my sister, has a lover whom she thought so true, but he the other night.
Listen again.
Paolo, without.
Francesca.
'Tis his voice. My lady, you are trembling.
Francesca, aside.
Why did he speak? The sweet sound has floated to my brain.
Francesca.
Francesca, aside.
Soft it comes out of the night. Go to the window, Nita. What says he?
He does entreat he may come into you a moment. Shall I answer?
Francesca walking to and fro and putting her hand to her heart.
Let him come.
I will go tell him.
Aside.
They'll not want me. I can meet Bernardo now.
Exit Nita.
Oh, voice too sweet, and like the soul of midnight sending words. Now all the world is at her failing hour, and at her faintest. Now the pulse is low. Now the tide turns, and now the soul goes home. And I, to Paolo, am fainting back. A moment, but a moment, then no more.
Enter Paolo.
I am by music led into this room, and beckoned sweetly. All the breezes die round me, and in immortal ecstasy toward thee I move. Now am I free and gay, light as a dancer when the strings begin.
What glow is on thy face? What sudden light?
It seems that I am proof against all perils.
And yet I fear to see thy air so glad.
Tonight all points of swords to me are dull.
And still I dread the bravery of your words. Kiss me, and leave me, Paolo, tonight.
What do you fear?
One watches quietly.
Who?
I know not. Perhaps the quiet face of God. The eternal listener is near.
I'll struggle now no more. Have I not fought against thee as a foe most terrible? Parried the nimble thrust and thought of thee, and from thy mortal sweetness fled away, yet evermore returned. Now all the bonds which held me I cast off, honor, esteem, all ties, all friendships, peace, and life itself. You only in this universe I want.
You fill me with a glorious rashness. What, shall we two then take up our fate and smile?
Remember how when first we met we stood, stung with immortal recollections of face immured beside a fairy sea that leaned down at dead midnight to be kissed. O beauty folded up in forests old, thou wast the lovely quest of Arthur's knights.
Thy armor glimmered in a gloom of green.
Did I not sing to thee in Babylon?
Or did we set a sail in Carthage Bay?
Were thine eyes strange?
Did I not know thy voice? All ghostly grew the sun, unreal the air than when we kissed.
And in that kiss our souls together flashed, and now they are one flame, which nothing can put out, nothing divide.
Kiss me again. I smile at what may chance.
Again, and yet again, and here, let me with kisses burn this body away. that our two souls may dart together free. I fret at intervention of the flesh, and I will clasp you, you that but inhabit this lovely house.
Break open the door and let my spirit out. Paolo, kill me, then kill thyself. To vengeance leave these weeds, and let our souls together soar away.
Paolo recoiling.
You are too beautiful for human blow.
Francesca starts.
Why did you shiver and turn sudden cold?
I felt a wind pass over me.
I too, colder than any summer night could give.
A solitary wind, and it hath passed.
Paolo embracing her.
Do you still fear?
Ah, Paolo, if we should die tonight, then whither would our souls repair? There is a region which priests tell of, where such as we are punished without end.
Were we together, what can punish us?
Nothing. Ah, think not I can love you less. Only I fear.
What can we fear, we two? O God, thou seest us thy creatures bound together by that law which holds the stars in palpitating cosmic passion bright, by which the very sun enthralls the earth, and all the waves of the world faint to the moon. Even by such attraction we two rush together through the everlasting years. Us then, whose only pain can be to part, how wilt thou punish? For what ecstasy together to be blown about the globe? What rapture in perpetual fire to burn together? Where we are is endless fire. There centuries shall in a moment pass, and all the cycles in 1 hour elapse. Still together, even when faints thy sun, and past our souls thy stars like ashes fall. How wilt thou punish us who cannot part?
I lie out on your arm and say your name, Paolo, Paolo.
Francesca.
They slowly pass through the curtains. Enter Nita.
Ah, where are my lady and Lord Paolo? Gone out into the moonlight. It is well for her to meet her lover when she choose, and I must run in from Bernardo's arms. 'Tis very late. I'll sit and end this sewing. I cannot work.
Walks up and down.
Where can my mistress be?
Nita touches abstractedly the strings of a mandolin. Lucrezia enters hurriedly. Lucrezia, aside.
Oh, he is subtly hidden. And where? And where? I have set that on which now I cannot stay. Nita, you are alone. Where is your mistress?
I cannot tell, my lady.
Look in my eyes. You left her.
But a moment.
And alone.
Lord Paolo.
Lucrezia, seizing her arm.
Ah!
My lady hurt me not.
Stammer the truth out.
He came to the door.
No further?
And she sighed out, let him come.
And you left them together?
I went out.
Together then. Now, quick, dry those tears, for we must use our wit.
And you, too, tremble.
And he, Lord Malatesta.
Know you not, he hath ridden off to camp.
But might return.
Nita, trembling.
Oh, but he must not.
Yet some accident.
There would be noise and stir at his return.
You have heard no sound. Remember fiercely. Nothing? I do not mean of hooves nor armor chink. You have heard not even a step?
Nita, trembling.
What mean you? No.
Not even a soft step?
I am faint with fear.
She staggers. Lucrezia seizing her hand.
Which way went they, these two?
I cannot tell.
This door is fast. Then through the curtains?
Yes.
They seem to tremble still. Come with me, quick.
I am faint.
Come with me.
She drags her to the curtain.
Ah, whose hand is that?
Giovanni, parting the curtains from the other side, comes slowly through.
Oh, sir, we had not thought you back so soon.
Where is your mistress?
Sir, I cannot tell.
Is it not time you dressed her all in white and combed out her long hair as for a sleep?
'Tis past the hour.
You have a curl awry and falling o'er your eyebrow. Bind it up.
I cannot, sir.
Well, leave us. When your mistress is ready, I will call for you.
Exit Nita. There is a pause in which Giovanni and Lucrezia gaze at each other. Lucrezia going slowly up to him.
Oh, sir, I would beseech of you.
She starts.
Ah, Giovanni, you have hurt your hand. There's blood upon it here.
Takes his hand and looks at it.
'Tis not my blood.
Oh, then.
Oh, then is all. And now their love that was so secret close shall be proclaimed. Giulio, Carlo, Biaggi. They shall be married before all men. Nita, rouse up the house, bring in lights, lights, lights. There shall be music, feasting and dancing. Wine shall be drunk. Candles, I say, more lights, more marriage lights. Where tarry they the while the nuptial tapers? Rouse up all the house.
All this while servants and others half-dressed are continually rushing in with lights and torches. They stand whispering.
Carlo, go through the curtains and pass into the great sleeping chamber. You shall find 2 there together lying. Place them then upon some litter and have them hither brought with ceremony.
Exeunt Carlo and 4 servants. Giovanni passes to and fro.
The curse of Cain. A restlessness has come into my blood, and I begin to wander from this hour alone for evermore.
Lucrezia rushing to him.
Giovanni, say quickly some light thing, lest we both go mad.
Be still. A second wedding here begins, and I would have all reverent and seemly. For they were nobly born and deep in love.
Enter blind Angela, slowly.
Will no one take my hand? Too lately dead, rushed past me in the air. Oh, are there not many within this room, all standing still? What are they all expecting?
Lead her aside. I hear the slow pace of advancing feet.
Enter servants bearing in Paolo and Francesca dead upon a litter.
Break not out in lamentation.
A pause. The servants set down the litter. Lucrezia going to litter.
I have borne one child, and she has died in youth.
Giovanni going to litter.
Not easily have we 3 come to this. We 3 who now are dead. Unwillingly they loved. Unwillingly I slew them. Now I kiss them on the forehead, quietly.
He bends over the bodies and kisses them on the forehead. He is shaken.
What ails you now?
She takes away my strength. I did not know the dead could have such hair. Hide them. They look like children fast asleep.
The bodies are reverently covered over. Curtain. End of Act 4. End of Paolo and Francesca by Stephen Phillips.